What's going on, gamers? Today we're jumping into a bit more Wo Long, and I'm going to show you the most overpowered wizardry in the game. Forget your fatal strikes, this is going to decimate everything, boss, enemy, don't worry about it, you're going to nuke it and have a lot of fun while you do. So if you want to see the most powerful wizardry in the game, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Now, for anyone who thought that wizardry was lackluster and that if you wanted damage you had to spec into your fatal strikes, there will be a lot of people changing over to builds like this in the future because the damage is ridiculous. And wizardry is in fact probably the most powerful thing in the game, or at least one of them in particular. Now, as always, if you enjoy this and if you like the content, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon and I'll bring you all the latest greatest gaming. But for now I'm going to jump into a couple of tough encounters and show you exactly how much damage this can do. Right, so hopefully from that you can see that this spell is well worth having. It was doing between 3 to 4 times the amount of damage I was doing with my fatal strikes. I think this is probably the most broken thing in the game currently. I'd say I have a very good setup, but I haven't got it perfect. So you'll be able to get even more powerful than I did. And at one point I did 2.3k on an enemy. But the wizardry in question is this one right here. It's going to be for your metal tree and it's going to be Molten Calamity Thorn. Release a metal phase attack that deals damage to enemies it touches. If those enemies are inflicted with any ailments, they will be fully cured and they will take additional damage corresponding to the number of ailments cured. Basically, stack up as many ailments as you can on them because that's where all of your damage is going to come from. The more debuffs and such they've got on them or status effects, the more damage you're going to do once you hit them with this wizardry. Also, I like the fact that this is the most powerful wizardry in the game because most times it is quite hard to pull off. I found definitely doing it straight after a fatal strike worked best, or even beforehand if you wanted to, but ultimately the enemy has to be quite compromised because the wizardry has very low range. Don't forget, now you can accompany this with a lot of other wizardries, like a lightning, fire or even stone effect going on in order to debuff them that way, you very well could. Or one that I think works absolutely amazing is going to be just here in the metal tree again, and that's going to be your life wither. This releases a curse bolt to the front, enemies that are hit by it now take more damage. Don't forget, there's a lot of embedding you can do. You can put on extra damage to your wizardry, you can put on extra damage received to the enemy, and of course you've got special effects you can put on as long as you found them in the game, like Spirit Vulnerability and Slow. Jumping over to my character, I'm only level 85, so you can do a lot more damage and get it much higher than myself because obviously you can hit 150, but even at this I'm absolutely tearing through most of the bosses and having a lot of fun while I do it. So even if it's not the exact playstyle you want, it might be a great one to have on your loadout list in case you want to go into a boss fight. I haven't made a pure fatal strike build yet, so I might be wrong, but I'd say this will probably completely out damage it with a perfect setup by a long way. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'll be bringing out a few more guides. I'm going to let you know what this weapon is in another video further down the line because this one's broken as well. But as always, for all things gaming, take care. I'll see you on the next day.